with Google Cloud. Innovation is so alive right now, thanks in a large part to generative AI. So today, I'm going to take you through how we're seeing AI accelerating Aussie startups. I was lucky enough to be on this stage last year. Hands up in the room if you were here last year. Okay, not too many. Good, I've got exactly the same slides, so. No, I'm kidding. Quite a lot's happened in the last year, so no two slides the same. I did learn 3 things from last year. Firstly, I learned that the screen is really big. So big pictures of the world look awesome. I learned from Zach Cass from OpenAI that the Mark Zuckerberg long blue t-shirt looks still kind of cool. So I thought I'd give that a shot. And I learned from Jamila Gordon, or was reminded really of the power of storytelling and the impact of really big, bold statements. So let's start there. We're living in exponential times. I know it sounds bold, but there's a lot of truth in it. So this graph shows the submissions of the number of research papers pertaining to AI ML, deep learning, and neural networks over the last 20 years. And what we typically find is that research precedes, for any technological revolution, research typically precedes commercialization of that technology. The truth is, as humans, we're not trained to think in exponential terms. We tend to think linearly, logarithmically. The pace of innovation and progress is far exceeding anything and accelerating far more rapidly than any of us could have imagined. So for the World Economic Forum in 2021, McKinsey released a report called the Top 10 Tech Trends that will shape the next decade. And in this report, they said the following: we'll experience more technological progress in the next 10 years than we did in the preceding 100 years put together. So the top 10 tech trends are many of the things that you would expect to see. There's next level process automation for Internet of Things and robotics, future of connectivity, next gen computing, future of programming, and a number of industry specific trends. They're still really on point 3 years later. But what wasn't in this article, or what wasn't explicitly mentioned, was generative AI. And this came out in October 2021. And there were very few people in the world at that point that had any idea of the massive disruption and the incredible opportunities that would be unleashed to the world when OpenAI released ChatGPT. So Martek's law states that technology changes exponentially, but organizations change logarithmically. So this creates an immense friction and disruption between the two at the enterprises that we serve. So to survive that disruption, companies need to seriously either pivot or reset or reinvent themselves entirely, which of course is incredibly hard to do. All of this dovetails into how we are organizing our offerings to support a company's Gen AI journey. So we see companies transforming across 3 productivity pillars. Firstly, there's enhancing employee productivity with tools like Gemini for Workspace, or developer productivity with Gemini Code Assist. There's streamlining and automating business processes. So whether this is marketing tools who are accelerating their content creation, or COOs who are revolutionizing the back office with the use of agents, which I'll cover shortly. And finally, we still see a lot of investment in the contact center space. So certainly this is comprehensive offerings like contact center AI. So let's make this real based on some of the ways that we're helping local Aussie startups innovate with AI. Firstly, Capiche, they've unlocked new revenue streams by performing large-scale sentiment analysis on their unstructured data. The Iconic have added Gen AI to their retail search experience, which has led to an uplift in key business metrics for them. Finder went from a UI prototype to a production-ready in 4 weeks using Vertex AI Agent Builder. CultureAmp prioritized safety and security whilst trusting their customer data with new generative AI features. This was a huge moment for us when CultureAmp, leading unicorn in Australia, committed to trust Google Cloud with their most sensitive of HR data. And then Canva, who use the Cloud Translation API to introduce translation capabilities for their users. So Gemini is our latest generation of large language models from Google, and it's accessible to both consumers from gemini.google.com and also enterprises through Vertex AI. It's multimodal, which means that it can take multiple inputs, such as code, text, image, and audio, with video coming soon, and produce multiple outputs. The integration into Workspace is particularly powerful. You can supercharge your docs, your slides, your sheets. You can access information from your Gmail and from your Drive, and not just access, but transform, analyze, and create. Customers are typically taking one of three GenAI archetypes. So firstly, there's the taker. So the taker is connecting existing large language models to their applications or using LLMs to actually enrich their own data. The shaper, that's training existing models with their own data to address specific use cases. And then the maker, that's actually creating their own models. This is typically reserved for governments, large enterprises, or indeed startups that have raised a huge amount of funding. So to enable all this is Google Cloud's AI stack. Taking those previous terms, for the takers, this is about leveraging the existing AI solutions, such as Contact Center AI, or building custom agents using our Vertex AI Agent Builder, or accessing the Gemini model directly for the multimodal capabilities. For the shapers looking to train the pre-existing models with your own data, you can use the Vertex AI Model Builder, or work within the Model Garden, which I'll cover shortly. And for the makers, you can leverage our world-class GPU and TPU infrastructure. So Google has always believed in fostering an open ecosystem, and Google Cloud has ventured the same way with building an open model ecosystem. So this allows customers to be able to access over 150 third-party models to be able to perform whatever processes and applications they're trying to drive. These are, as well as our own foundational models and various versions of those, we have third-party models such as Anthropic's Claude 2, Hugging Face, even Meta's Llama 2, and Code Llama. We actually added Code Llama within 48 hours of its public release. I mentioned agents a few times. I'll keep going because I really see this as very, very important over the next couple of years. The Vertex AI Agent Builder allows you to build custom agents to support your startup. So AI assistants integrated into internal workflows to support HR processes. There are AI systems specializing in data-related needs, and of course, AI-powered conversational chatbots and virtual assistants. The Vertex AI Agent Builder provides that platform to create, deploy, and monitor GenAI agents. You can take the out-of-the-box agents and then not only understand and generate text, but they can perform actions. So think of them as generation meets automation. You can control and shape the conversation and make sure you ground it to your own information. You can test, fine-tune, and deploy the agent into your existing systems. And then you can use tools to analyze the conversations, spot quality issues, provide feedback, get that iterative cycle going. And one for all the developers in the room, Gemini Code Assist helps developers with writing, debugging, and documenting code. You can actually train this on your own code base to be able to get contextually relevant coding and debugging suggestions. In a recent interview, Eric Schmidt talked about 3 things that he thought would profoundly change the world, or is profoundly changing the world very quickly. Firstly, the rapidly changing and increasing context window. So back in March, we announced that Gemini had a 1 million token context window. 1 million tokens means an hour of video, 11 hours of audio, 30,000 lines of code, or 700,000 words of text. Within 2 months, we've doubled that to 2 million tokens. And there's now talk of some models that are working towards infinite token windows. If you combine that with enhanced agency, so this notion that the agents can continuously improve, they're going to get better, they're going to become more powerful, and then, therefore, they're going to become more popular. So combine all of that with text to action, which allows those agents to go and execute tasks, and suddenly you have millions of agents out there who are continuously improving, they're learning from each other, and they're becoming better and better at executing across all those activities that we really don't want to do anymore. I think there's going to be a lot more time on the beach coming soon. So with all this in mind, we need to ensure that we're building responsibly and thoughtfully. So we've developed our core AI principles which guide us on what we should be doing, and also what we should not pursue in applications of AI. So every business should also think about setting their own AI principles to make sure that you are thinking responsibly about your customer data, and that you're also going to not do harm with whatever AI outputs you're creating. And if you're an investor, it's probably worth having a conversation with startups that you are looking to invest in to understand what their AI principles are. So that's our capabilities, all pretty compelling, which is why over 60% of all funded AI startups and nearly 90% of generative AI unicorns are Google Cloud customers. So that's startups, unicorns such as Cohere, Replete, Anthropic, Character.ai. My broader team actually works closely with a lot of these businesses, and it's just incredible to see how quickly they have become unicorns. For the builders out there, the Google for Startups Cloud program provides business, technical, and financial support. If you're just getting started, you can get $2,000 of credits to help you with your build, covering Google Cloud and Firebase. And once you've received investment, so any form of institutional investment, you can actually get $100,000 of credits that cover 100% of your costs in year one, and a further $100,000 covering 20% of your costs in year two. AI startups actually can now receive $250,000 of credits, covering that first year, and another $100,000 in year two. So it's great to see a few cameras out here. I actually get paid per QR code clip, so click away. That's all from me. We have a little booth outside with some stickers, so please come and say hi to the team. Feel free to connect. Really excited to see how this continues to develop and how Australia, and in particular Queensland, is able to continue that incredible acceleration of AI. Thank you.